There is a story you have probably heard some version of, without knowing where it came from. A woman crying by the road. A stranger stops to help. She turns around, and there is nothing on her face. Here is the part nobody tells you. It was probably written by an Irishman.
Yokai night. Every couple of nights I take one Japanese yokai and pull it apart. The history, the customs, the old stories and its monster cuisines around the world. Tonight, the one with no face, Noppera-bo. The most famous Japanese ghost, and the famous version was written by an Irishman. The real one is older and stranger.
Nopperabō. It means, roughly, the flat one. A person. Ordinary height, ordinary clothes. Nothing wrong from behind. Then they turn, and the face is blank. No eyes. No nose. No mouth. Smooth, like an egg.
That is all it does. Show you its face.
That is all it does. It never bites. It never chases. It has never killed anyone in any version of the story. It walks up, it turns around, and you run. Now, an important warning, because almost everyone gets this wrong. There is another yokai called Nopperabō. The names sound close. They are not the same thing. Nopperabō is a lump of meat. Folds of fat that happen to look a little like a face. It waddles. Nopperabō is shaped like a person. That is exactly why it works.
So why do people mix them up?
Hold that question. The answer is the best thing in this episode, and it comes later. One more thing. Look at how it is drawn. Yosa-bune, a poet and painter, drew one in the 1700s. The face is gone. One eye moved to the back. Start where the record starts. 1663. A book called Sorori Monogatari, Sorori's Tales. A kanazoshi, a cheap printed collection of strange stories, sold to ordinary townspeople. Nobody knows who wrote it. In Kyoto, on a street called Oike-cho, people reported a man about 7 shaku tall. A shaku is an old Japanese unit of length, roughly 1 foot. So, a little over 2 meters. In 1600s Japan, where most men stood about 1.55 meters, that is a giant. And he had no face. That is 240 years before the famous story. Hold on to that number. 1767. Another collection, New Tales of 100 Things. Kyoto again, the dry riverbed at Neijo. Something called a Nopperabō appeared there. And this time there is a detail that changes everything. It had thick, coarse hair on it.
Hair? On a faceless person?
Hair means an animal. And that was the ordinary explanation of the age. A badger. A fox. A mujina. Take human shape, forget the face. Because in Edo, Japan, when something impossible happened on a dark road, you did not reach for a ghost. You reached for an animal that was smarter than it looked. Foxes ran the countryside. Badgers ran the hills. Remember that word. Mujina. It is going to matter. 1904. A book called Kwaidan. Written by Lafcadio Hearn, born in Greece, raised in Ireland, and by then a Japanese citizen named Koizumi Yakumo. He heard stories from his wife, Koizumi Setsu, and wrote them in English. One of them is called Mujina. And this is the one everyone knows. Edo. A long hill called Ki no Kunisaka, the province of Ki Slope. Hearn says that before street lamps, people would walk miles out of their way rather than climb the hill alone after dark. A merchant is going up it late. He hears a woman crying. She is crouched by the moat, sleeve over her face, sobbing. He is kind. He stops. He asks what is wrong. He offers to help. She keeps crying. He touches her shoulder. She turns. And her face is smooth. No eyes. No nose. No mouth. He runs. He runs until he sees a light, a soba seller. Buckwheat noodles, sold at night from a stall carried on a shoulder pole. The paper lantern is how you know he is open. He throws himself down and gasps out what he saw. The sober man listens. Then he says something like this. And he strokes his own face, and his face goes blank too. And the light goes out. That is the whole story. It is 3 pages long.
So that is a story everybody knows. A faceless woman on a dark hill, and a soba seller who is worse. That version is 120 years old, and it was written in English. Everything after this is a part the retellings leaves out.
Open Hearn's Mujina and search it. The word Nopperabō is not in it. Not once. He never uses the name. He calls the story Mujina, Badger.
So the most famous faceless yokai story never says its name.
It never says its name. And it gets stranger. Hearn's own great-grandson, Koizumi Bon, has said this story was Hearn's invention. Scholars disagree about how much. We will follow that reading tonight, but say plainly, this is a debate, not a settled fact. What researchers do agree on is the shape. The second scare, you escape, and the thing is waiting where you ran to. That pattern already existed in Japan. Hearn took that pattern and put a blank face into it. Because he titled it Mujina, the world learned that a faceless yokai is a badger in disguise. That idea is his. So if the story is his, what was the real one? Here is the answer. And it is not in a ghost book. It is in a dictionary. The Nihon Kokugo Daijiten is Japan's largest historical dictionary, the Japanese OED. It records where a word is first written down. Its oldest entry for this word is 1704. A book of linked verse called Setori-bune. The line reads, Kakehoshi wa Nopperabō no monoiwazu. The middle word is written with the characters for no features. Nopperabō is only the reading given to them. That is the whole point. In 1704 it is not a creature. It is a word that means nothing showing. 1779. A kabuki play, Sukuroku Karuwa no Yozakura. A character snaps at someone, Nopperabō ka, mono wo ie, are you a blank? Say something. That is an insult, on a public stage, 70 years before the word was ever a monster. So the word came first, and the monster came second. Nopperabō meant flat. Nothing to get hold of. Japanese still uses it that way, a Nopperabō wall, a Nopperi face. The monster is that adjective, given legs. And that is why people confuse it with Nopperabō. Not because they look alike. Because they come from the same word. The blank face turns up all over Japan, under local names. In Tsugaru, up north in Hirosaki, they called it Zunbura-bo. In Kumamoto, Noppera-pon. And the Jubako Baba, the lacquer box hag, who ran a tea house on Hokkei Slope. In Sasayama, west of Kyoto, Zunbura-bo, out behind the embankment. And in Gifu there is an older one still, in a clan chronicle called the Kanzen Key.
So it was already everywhere before him.
Everywhere. Different names, one idea. And notice what the names have in common. Zunbura, Nopperi, Nup. They are all the same sound, and they all mean the same thing, smooth and blank. Face that is missing, or wrong, is not only a Japanese fear. In Scotland, on Ben Macdui, there is Fair Lee A. Moore, the big grey man. Report footsteps crunching behind them in the fog. Almost nobody has ever seen it. In Ireland, the Dullahan rides at night carrying his own head under his arm, a face, but in the wrong place. In China, in the Liuzhai Zai, Strange Tales from a Chinese Studio, 1740. There is a story called The Painted Skin. A demon paints a face onto a human skin and puts it on to be loved. The horror is not that it has no face, it is that it needed one to be wanted. In the logging camps of North America, the Hidebehind. Turn around and it has already stepped behind the tree. You cannot get a look at it. You can walk Hearn's Hill. It is still there. Ki no Kunizaka, in Moto Akasaka, central Tokyo. It runs about 1 kilometer from Akasaka Mitsuki Station up to the old Kuichigai Gate. The name comes from the Ki Tokugawa family, who had a huge residence on the west side. That land is now the Akasaka Palace grounds, the state guest house. On the east side is Benkei Moat, part of the old outer moat of Edo Castle. From the subway it is a 1-minute walk. And that is the strange part. In Hearn's day this was the darkest walk in the city. People took a detour of miles. Now it is lit all night, and salarymen come down it with their phones out.
So the scary hill is a commuter route.
It is. And you still cannot see the face of a single person who passes you. And the 3 pages he wrote have been retold, filmed, animated and taught in schools for over a century.
The story he knew was written in English. The monster in it is 240 years older, and the name was an insult about a world before it was ever a ghost. Subscribe. Next time, a centipede the size of a mountain, the Omukade. Watch who you help after dark. Good night.
And if you want more monsters, our sister channel Monster Atlas explores the beasts and cryptids of the whole world.